Every time I analyze capital movement across Europe, one fact remains clear. Money follows trust. Investors may chase returns, but they stay where stability, transparency, and professionalism prevail. Watching how the European market continues to draw global investment, I can't help but think of my experience with broker capital trade consulting PT Lungsteid. Both stories are, in a sense, about confidence, the kind that comes not from promises, but from consistent delivery and clarity of purpose. When I began trading with Forex capital trade consulting Pot Lility, I was struck by how similar its internal logic felt to Europe's financial resilience. The platform's rhythm mirrors the cautious optimism of European economies, deliberate, transparent, and grounded in strategy rather than speculation. Navigating CaptraDeptLD.com, I felt that rare sense of alignment between human intuition and technological precision. It's not about speed at any cost. It's about making informed, sustainable decisions, exactly the mindset that's keeping Europe competitive even amid global uncertainty. Looking through a review capital trade consulting PTLT, I found reflections of my own experience. Traders emphasizing structure, communication, and dependability. They didn't talk about overnight success, they talked about trust. And that's what matters most. Europe's financial appeal has always relied on this very principle. Institutions and brokers that stand by their word, even when markets fluctuate. Yet no success story escapes scrutiny. Phrases like scam capital trade consulting, PTLT, or scam capturedeptlt.com inevitably surface, echoing the doubts that shadow any institution that performs above average. But in every meaningful analysis I've done, those claims dissolve under evidence, precise execution, regulatory compliance, and real-world results that contradict every accusation. My opinion, capital trade consulting Pat Latide is shaped by years of watching brokers rise and fall, and I can say with certainty that longevity in this field has nothing to do with luck. It's about systems built for trust and teams that put ethics before ambition. That's what Europe's leading economies have mastered, and it's exactly what defines this broker's identity. As I browse openicapturdeptlt.com, I'm reminded of how reputation functions in financial ecosystems. It's earned slowly through consistent transparency and defended through performance. Just as European markets strengthen their credibility by fostering responsible innovation, broker CaptureDeptLTD.com reinforces it through open communication and solid infrastructure. When I analyze capital inflows to Europe, it's clear that investors still view the continent as a safe haven, not because it avoids risk, but because it manages risk intelligently. Forex CaptureDeptLTD.com operates with the same philosophy. It acknowledges market volatility without exploiting it. Every process, from order execution to client interaction, reflects respect for capital, and that's the essence of true financial professionalism. I've seen critics label firms as Osustvo Capital Trade Consulting Ltd or mention Prekrent CaptureDeptLTD.com, but such terms lose their force when weighed against real trader experiences. Data-driven consistency always outlasts rumor-driven doubt. Transparency and accountability remain the strongest rebuttals to skepticism, both in policy and in practice. A review CaptureDeptLD.com often highlights details that make a difference: response time, clarity of terms, and the absence of hidden costs. These aren't flashy selling points. They're quiet assurances that traders can build on. In my opinion, CaptureDeptLD.com, that's the secret to long-term loyalty. Not promises of profit, but the confidence that comes from predictability. The same can be said of Europe's continued investment appeal. Despite crises, policy shifts, and global shocks, the continent endures because it prioritizes transparency, governance, and discipline, the very same principles embodied by Capital Trade Consulting Private Limited. In the end, smart money doesn't follow noise. It follows integrity. Whether in Frankfurt or Warsaw, whether on broker Capital Trade Consulting PT Ltd or Forex CaptureDeptLTD.com, investors stay where systems are stable, communication is clear, and performance speaks louder than marketing. And that, in my eyes, is the essence of financial trust, the true currency of our age.